Overtired. So tired. Overtired.
Hello,
People. Hello, people.
I didn't have a bit in my back pocket. I was looking for like, hello, metro area commuters.
Hello, metrosexuals.
Yeah, hello, all you people, the commuters and the sexuals. This is the Overtired podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jeff Severance Gunsel, and I'm here with Brett Terpstra, and Christina Warren has COVID and is not with us this week. So pour one out. Fauci was right. What else do we want to say? Hashtag something. Anyway,
Elon was wrong.
Elon is wrong.
DeSantis was wrong.
Oh man, why are we letting all these people's names onto our podcast? They take up a lot of space once you let them in.
Yeah.
All right, everyone's banished, but you and me and the spirit of Christina. Hi, Brett.
Hi, Jeff.
How's it going?
It's good. I am waiting on my. So it's been snowing a lot.
Yes, it has.
I don't know how much you guys have up in the cities, but we've gotten about a foot now. And I have an electric snowblower that is not great for clearing wet snow. And so we're at the mercy of our neighbor with like his four-wheeler with a plow on it. And he comes and digs us out, but on his schedule, not ours.
Right, of course.
And Elle's car is a Sonata. And I don't know if you've ever driven a Sonata in the snow.
Is it a four-wheel drive Sonata?
Yeah, right. It's a front-wheel drive 4-cylinder Sonata that does not handle snow at all. Like the slightest layer of slick on the road, and it starts fishtailing.
Wow.
So when it snows, she drives my Audi. All Audis are all-wheel drive with anti-lock brakes, and they are amazing winter vehicles.
Yeah,
like you can drive my Audi in a foot of snow and not even realize it's slippery. Like it just handles it. So on days like this, she takes my car to work and I stay home without transportation. So she is currently responsible for picking up my Vyvanse today, and I have not taken my Vyvanse yet. I am at her mercy when she is able to pick up my Vyvanse and drop it off. So I'm a little deadpan right now.
Yeah.
I'm lacking my usual Terpstra zest.
I don't know. You got a little pep in your step, a little dip in your hip.
I got new glasses.
New glasses. Congratulations. Where did you get those?
Oh, from Zenny Optical.
That's like a mail order thing that I don't know about.
Yeah. Like I got my pupillary distance measured last time I had an eye appointment.
That is none of my business.
And I got glasses fitted, and they fit perfectly, and they got the blue light blocking, and I gotta say I love them. And it was like $100 total for like the whole package with clip-on sunglasses and everything.
Ooh, clip-on sunglasses.
Yeah, fancy, right?
Where do you keep those fucking things when you're not?
I don't know yet.
Yeah,
right now they're in my bathroom cabinet, but
that's not where you need them.
I'll probably keep them in my car.
Yeah, maybe somewhere at least on the way outside.
Like I seriously considered the transition lenses, but you have to make a choice. Either you get lenses that go completely clear when you're inside, which is a must for me. Like I can't stand talking to people that look like their glasses look like they're on their way out.
Yeah, right. It's not polite. It's not polite to send those kind of signals. It's not presence.
I saw a meme that just said transition lenses that get darker the longer somebody talks to you.
That's good.
So those though do not activate when you're inside your car behind your like UV protection windshield. So I need like the only time I need my glasses to turn into sunglasses is when I'm driving. And so I need, and it was an either or, and neither of them, if they ever can combine glasses that will activate behind a UV windshield and go completely clear when you're indoors, then I will buy transition lenses.
What about like a button on the side that's like you're in control, you know?
and it turns on like one-way mirrors, like mirror shades.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I just had my eyes examined, my annual eye exam, and I am getting progressive lenses. That's right, god damn it. And I'm
Yep.
turning 48 in about a month. So it all works. It all works. We got a bag of chips.
No, I got a bag of meds.
Ooh, a bag of meds. Did Elle just come in?
Elle just came in.
Elle, come back.
Hey, wait, Elle, come back. She's coming back.
Okay.
You get to watch me take my Vyvanse live on air.
Hi.
Hey Elle, say hello to me and to the
Oh,
Overtired
this is
listeners. Your
supposed to
name
go.
is mentioned on this podcast regularly, but we never heard your voice.
Oh, I'm on the podcast. I was just saying.
Sucker.
All right. Hello to Jeff and Brett and Christina's listeners. All right.
Good to see you. All right. Now we get to see Brett's Vyvanse kick in over the course of the podcast. We'll see.
It takes like an hour though. That's why I used to be prescribed Vyvanse and then Focalin.
Yeah.
Because the Focalin, I would take the short acting, like it would give me the immediate, like it kicks in so fast.
I see. Yeah. Right.
Like 15 minutes and you're good to roll. And then I could take it in the evenings as needed.
Yeah.
If I had to work long days or whatever. And the Vyvanse just kind of was the like steady, slow and steady. But turns out that's a really bad idea.
Yeah. Anything that just jacks you right away is kind of a
Well, I mean, I love Focalin. I really do.
Yeah.
But as we've discussed before, I love it too much.
As I recall, it is for you as a past cocaine user, it is a little too close to cocaine.
It is.
Mm-hmm. That's no good. You don't want that. Would you like to meet me over here hold on, let me do a vocal effect. I'm just gonna walk over here to the mental health corner. Do you want to join me over here?
On my way, I'll be right there.
Oh, hey, you look great.
She brought me water to drink my Vyvanse with.
That is awesome.
But it's seltzer water.
Yep.
So now I've got the burps.
Yep. I always take my meds with seltzer water.
I can't drink regular water anymore. Ever since we got the Soda Stream.
Yeah.
Like regular water is just too boring for me. I seltzerize everything.
I was in the country somewhere, don't remember which one, where the waiter came up and said, "Would you like water with gas?" I was like, "Yes, please." The same menu had emaciated chicken on it.
What does that mean?
This is the bad translation of I don't know what. Lean
chicken.
You don't usually see lean chicken on the menu. Anyway,
chicken is lean.
How you doing?
So I am on like week 7 of no manic episodes. Wow. And I am definitely jonesing for one.
Is that a record?
No, a few months back, like I guess a year ago, I had a stint about this long. It actually went on for like 3 months. You can see it in my GitHub activity. There's like this 3-month stretch of just like 2 commits a week. And I'm doing a little better now than I was then. Like I've found a better stable than that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a year. Like I was having basically once or twice a month. Was having like 3 to 5 day episodes, rapid cycling. But this has been a long stable for me, and I'm doing okay. I got the end of the year deadlines to meet, which I'm definitely taking my sweet time with. I'm counting on that ADHD last minute pressure to get things done.
Yeah, it's a prison.
Yeah, but I got my Vyvanse now. I think it's gonna be a good day. We'll see. Nice.
Well, anything else you want to report?
Nope. I think that's my whole check-in.
I have a sort of, I've had a medication situation in that there was, as we've talked about, there was a Adderall / Vyvanse shortage Maybe there still is, but it's not the case in Minneapolis right now. So I went, I had a kind of period of time when I didn't have any Vyvanse, and then I was able to obtain some. We're not going to talk about that. I got it through that guy from FTX. Um, he traded, he said, if you'll comb my hair, I will give you Vyvanse. And I was like, absolutely, let's do that. So I combed his hair, and then they arrested him. So anyway, but that has run out, and there's just been some kind of insurance issue that my medication manager has struggled to figure out, and it's been super frustrating. And I had just a hard couple days of coming off of Vyvanse when I didn't intend to or mean to, but I'm through that now. And I mean, I think we've talked about this on this show before, but you know, I'm still relatively new to medications. Like I started on sertraline at the beginning of the pandemic, coincidentally, for anxiety. Then I was taking like trazodone for sleep, but that just wasn't right for me. And then with a bipolar diagnosis, I started taking, a pretty heavy cocktail of meds. And I've definitely learned more than I ought to need to learn, that even slight adjustments in the medication can really throw you off. And if you're not really aware or truly present to the fact that you have changed something, um, I have run, I run the risk of like not knowing why I'm in such a terrible mood, or why my like bones ache, or like whatever, and then just thinking, kind of catastrophizing a little bit about that, and then realizing, oh Jesus, okay, that's right, I just switched the dosage, or I just switched whatever. And so I get it now, but I feel like for anybody out there taking medication, or if you will one day, like I don't think you can like repeat that back to yourself too often, like if there's a change, let your partner know. If you got, like
do you find in general that you have trouble making connections, cause and reaction connections in your life? Like for me, like I absolutely just constantly, Elle will have to point out, well, obviously you're having stomach problems, you ate this thing yesterday, or of course you're in a down mood, you just came off a manic episode and your meds changed. And
right.
like she sees these connections for me that should be obvious, like they're pretty like the next day kind of things happen. But I have a hard time making those connections and remembering what's going on.
I would say that I am just now at the point where I am making those connections. And one thing that was great about that, when I went off Vyvanse, was like the second day I was just super agitated, and like I just hated everyone, man. I also tried to go to Costco, which was a mistake, but like I was just really intensely agitated. I was able to contain it, which I'm really grateful for. And I was able to, the way I kind of describe it is I was able to like just like hold a tarp over my head as the rain came down, and just like walk through that storm and just be like, this isn't, I mean, it's real, but it isn't real. Don't turn this into something it's not. This is literally, chemical imbalance in your brain.
Yeah.
And it's only going to last another day, and you're going to be okay. And this was the first time I was able to really ride it through like that and contain it and not be a grouch around the house or like whatever, so yeah, I think I make the connection better now. It's more like when I took that last Vyvanse on Saturday, I was very aware. I was like, okay, here we go. Right. This is the last one, which means tomorrow, this time, I might just feel really down, or I might just feel really tired. And the next day I might just feel super agitated, and my bones might ache or something, which seems to happen to me. So anyway, that's it. But
yeah,
you raise an important point, is like finding a way to be, how can you be present to the connection? Because like for me, I don't know if you're like this, but if I'm not super sort of resourced or like balanced, I really lose track of time. I can forget a few times a day what day it is, even.
Yeah, that's a common ADHD
Yeah,
symptom.
yeah. And so when I'm in that state, it definitely becomes that much harder to make connections, because time is all messed up.
Yeah.
And so that's something I've been trying to also keep in mind. So
I never I never lose track of what time it is, but I definitely lose track of where I'm supposed to be at any given time.
I lose that too. Yeah.
I can take a nap and I wake up and I know what time it is without looking at my watch. Like I
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah.
know.
Right,
I
right,
always
right,
know
right.
what time it is. I just forget that, at 10 o'clock I was supposed to be in a meeting and now it's 10:30 and I'm just now realizing
Yeah.
that I missed an important meeting.
Yeah,
Happens.
I have that. I mean, to the point of where I'm just embarrassed, where it's like I have to look at the calendar so many times in a day
Yeah.
because I don't know if it's so much that I forget, which I do, or that I don't trust myself to remember right. And so I'm constantly looking at it, and more than anyone, I mean, normal humans should need to look at their calendar when they only have 3 fucking things on it, right? Like
Yeah.
for the day,
Right.
But I don't know. So it goes.
I always
That's
forget the third thing.
what's the
I
third
was
thing?
no, the third thing on the calendar. I'll get through the
Oh, yeah,
second
yeah,
thing and my brain will tell me, "Oh, phew, you made it. You're
yeah.
done."
Yep, yep.
And I forget the third thing.
Shit. And when you and I work together, that's when either you or I write to the other and say, hey, can we move this or move it to tomorrow? And then the other goes, yes, I always love having meetings moved.
Yes.
Every
Yes.
time.
Flaking is my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's it's a love language.
So Mental Health Corner always segues well into our first sponsor. So I'm going to take a moment. Christina usually does this read and she does a fantastic job of it because she is a longtime user of the ZocDoc service. So we always trust her to have the right thing to say. But I'm going to take it this week and I'm going to reference the fact that Christina loves this sponsor. If you're a fan of it, sushi is incredible, but gas station sushi, not so much. Finding the right sushi makes all the difference. The same goes for finding the right doctor. With ZocDoc, you can find the right doctor for you in your network and in your neighborhood, one that makes you feel like you're in good hands, you're supported, and you're heard, even if you're just telling them about your favorite sushi place. ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. On ZocDoc, you can find every specialist under the sun. Whether you're trying to straighten those teeth, fix an achy back, get that mole checked out, or anything else, ZocDoc has you covered. ZocDoc's mobile app is as easy as ordering a ride to a restaurant or getting delivery to your house. Search, find, and book doctors with a few taps. Find and review local doctors and read verified patient reviews from all the people who made real appointments. Now, when you walk into that doctor's office, you're all set to see someone in your network who gets you. Go to ZocDoc.com, find the doctor that is right for you, and book an appointment in person or remotely that works for your schedule. Every month, millions of people use ZocDoc. Christina's one of them. It's her go-to whenever she needs to find and book a quality doctor. She will say it. She's been doing it for a decade. Go to ZocDoc.com/overtired and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/overtired. ZocDoc.com/overtired.
Boom.
Do you want to make it a sponsor block and go ahead and do the next one?
Oh, yes. Rock block. Simply Safe. We're going to talk about Simply Safe. Did you know that property crimes like burglaries and package thefts spike over the winter? Certainly true in my neighborhood, especially Kias. People like to take the Kias lately in my neighborhood. That's why now is the best time to secure your home with award-winning home security. Simply Safe is the home security system I recommend to everybody. Make it your resolution to start the new year with greater peace of mind and safety for you and your family. Here's why we love it. Simply Safe was named the best home security system of 2022 by US News and World Report a third year in a row. In an emergency, 24/7 professional monitoring agents use Fast Protect technology, trademark, exclusively from Simply Safe to capture critical evidence and verify that the threat is real so you can get priority police response. Can I also say verifying that the threat is real mostly goes the other way, which is like neighbors are sure that all of the packages are being stolen, but in fact you look at the tape and you see that it was just delivered to the wrong place. That's where Simply Safe could come in. Just calm people the fuck down. Simply Safe is whole home security with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door. HD security cameras for inside and out, smarter ways to detect motion that alert you only when a threat is real, and even hazard sensors that detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. 24/7 professional monitoring service costs under $1 a day, less than half the price of ADT's traditional professionally installed system. With the top rated Simply Safe app, stay in complete control of your system anytime, anywhere, arm or disarm, unlock for a guest, access your cameras, or adjust system settings. Don't miss your chance for massive savings on our favorite security system. Get 50% off any new system at simplysafe.com/overtired today. That's simplisafe.com/overtired. This is their biggest discount of the year. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Okay, I have a topic, and I don't really know how to gauge our listeners' familiarity with this thing. So we're just gonna assume little knowledge, and we're gonna talk about bookmarklets in your browser. Okay, Brett, do you want to explain what a bookmarklet is?
A bookmarklet is a bookmark in your browser that instead of going to a web page, it executes JavaScript inline. And it can be used for all kinds of things, such as using a bookmarking service, taking the current page and sending it to an API to create a bookmark, like you would do with Pinboard or back in the day, Delicious. I make a bunch of bookmarklets that do things like zap all video ads on a page with a click, open a
Ooh.
product hunt link without going through an intermediary, like to turn. But product hunt used to make it a pain in the ass to visit the actual website that the product was for. So I made a bookmarklet that basically bypassed their interstitial page and like little things like that. And you can use them to hack all kinds of annoyances on the web and to add all kinds of features to the web.
So, in my experience of bookmarklets, the ones that I have loved tend to no longer be effective.
Yeah.
So, Pinboard is a great example, Instapaper, same thing. Because why?
Because of what's it called? It's security.
Content security policy.
Yeah, that's it. CSP. They basically they've limited the ability of JavaScript to access external web pages and therefore defeated most bookmarklets. You can still hold on, adjusting a cat.
There's a cat coming in.
You can still do a lot of stuff, and I still use I have a style stealer bookmarklet
Yes.
that rips the formatting from any blog or web page and turns it into like a mark to
I love that
style, and it still works. Sometimes you have to do a little security bypassing to get local scripts to run, but by hosting them on HTTPS servers and loading them, if they load remote code and you do it over HTTPS, you can sometimes work around, but then it's not always browser specific. Some sites won't allow cross site execution of
Yes.
JavaScript, so they can't the page you're on won't allow you to load an external JavaScript. So these days, like I used to host all the bookmarklets I shared, I used to host on a CloudFront SSL based server, and the bookmarklet that I had people install would just be a conduit to load the code from the web, and that way I could update everyone's bookmarklets just by updating the code on the web. And the next time they ran it, they would be running the most recent version. That works almost nowhere anymore. These days, if you want a complex bookmarklet to run, you have to actually embed the entire code in the bookmarklet.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So I was confused about that because I only actually I hadn't thought about it that way. I only thought of bookmarklets as all of the code is embedded in the bookmark.
Yeah. No, I used to use basically you just inject a script tag into the current document and add a source to it and then trigger it so that it loads the source as if it's loading into the page that you're currently on.
Yeah, got it. And so is the limitation now, without kind of finding ways to go around it, is the limitation you can act on the page that's open in your browser, but that's it?
You can act on the page that's open in your browser without importing any external code or sending code to us. Like I used to have bookmarklets that worked with Marky, the markdownifier,
Yeah,
and it
right.
could send the content of the current page to an API that would turn it into Markdown for you. Stuff like that has hit all kinds of like GitHub, for example, where most of the stuff I markdownified was from like Stack Overflow or GitHub.
Yeah.
And both of those sites have cross-domain scripting protection that doesn't make that accessible anymore.
And so essentially it's the world of web content and web creation going, hey, these things aren't safe.
Yeah.
We gotta find a way to.
There are valid security concerns there. But like in the case of like Marky, what I ended up doing, I don't know if you know this, but shortcuts on Mac have a URL handler.
Yes.
And you can trigger them and pass data to them using a URL. So I just created bookmarklets that just pass the content of the current page, do a little cleanup, and pass it to a shortcut that runs gather, the markdownifying utility I made.
Yes.
So it does it all locally and without sending to any other sites, which you can still pull off.
Right. If you've got the time and the mind
Sure.
for to knit something with 16 different sizes of yarn. Okay, so I wanted to talk about bookmarklets for just a minute, and you already started bringing us into what I was interested in talking about next, which is like how you get bookmarklet-like behaviors without being able to do bookmarklets as they have been done. You've told us the shortcut example. I wanted to bring in PopClip as an example,
Yeah.
which does work on highlighted text in a web page, basically.
Yeah.
So there are some not so recent changes to PopClip that I am only now aware of that I'm excited about. Explain. So PopClip, a couple of things. What are some bookmarklet-like things you do with PopClip?
Well, okay. Let's describe PopClip at its most basic. If you're familiar with iOS, when you select text, it pops up a little thing with copy, paste, etc., lookup and dictionary. That little bubble that pops up on iOS is what PopClip recreates on the Mac. So whenever you select text in any situation, PopClip pops up its little bubble. It's not unobtrusive, but you can just type it away. You can just keep typing and it'll go away. But you can assign any kind of functionality you want into that pop-up toolbar to do things like camel case or snake case your text, or look it up on DuckDuckGo. Or like for me, I have one where I can just highlight any text containing a URL and I can preview that URL in a pop-up window without having to switch to my browser. It can do insane number of things, and I have a whole PopClip extensions download on my blog with I think probably 20 different extensions in it. I actually have a gather PopClip extension that does pretty much the same thing as like my bullseye bookmarklet do. PopClip is really good at, it can grab raw HTML from a web page, and it can also do its own internal markdown conversion. My markdown conversion is better. I put a lot more time and effort into accurate markdown conversion of things like tables and definition lists and whatnot than PopClip has any interest in doing. So I take their raw HTML and then feed it into Gather. But I think like my primary use of PopClip is surround. Like I actually made a PopClip maker, an app that generated PopClip extensions that would surround text with different things.
Yeah.
And I use it for like critic markup, for example. Like I have a whole extension that just lets you add and remove and modify text using PopClip to insert critic markup.
Yeah,
And
nice.
and the thing that they added a while back, but apparently are just now touting, is the ability to create these like surround and search type PopClip extensions using YAML files, which is fabulous. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and like shout out to Jay Miller who did a nice little video on that.
Yeah, drop Jay's video in the show notes if you have it.
I will, and also we need to have Jay on the show.
Oh, we totally do.
That was one of my favorite of the last final season of, oh my God. Systematic was the episode with Jay Miller.
Yeah. Jay is a great guy. Yeah, but I even have a better touch tool gesture. If I hold down my index and ring finger and then tap with my middle finger, it will pop up using AppleScript. It'll pop up the PopClip toolbar, even if there's not a selection.
Ooh, look at you.
But a lot of times I make my selections using my keyboard instead of my mouse.
Yeah.
And PopClip only recognizes when you select text with a mouse.
Yes.
So if I like option right arrow shift to select something, and then I do want to run PopClip on it, I can just hold down two fingers, tap with my middle finger, and get my PopClip toolbar, which currently has
awesome.
Let's see, I have WebMD, which is one of my extensions that markdownifies using Aaron Schwartz's HTML to text.
Rest in peace.
I have Copy Plus, which is a copy tool that appends whatever you copy to the current clipboard selection, which is a built-in function of PopClip, but mine adds new lines the way I want it to. DuckDuckGo, one for commenting text in HTML or with hashes. Word count. I have
word count.
I have an extension for making bulleted and numbered lists in Markdown formatting. So if I select multiple lines, I can just turn them into lists. One for Markdown emphasis, one for collapsing so a lot of times when we put together our sponsor reads, I copied them out of PDFs that really mess with the line breaks.
Yeah.
So I can just select a paragraph and hit my unwrap PopClip extension, and it will remove all of the line breaks in the paragraph. And then as mentioned, camel case and snake case and uppercase and lowercase.
And random case. You can do random case if you're if that's
leet speak.
If you're into that kind of shit.
And then I have one called Slugify that will take selected text and lowercase it and hyphenate it and remove invalid characters, so you can make like a Jekyll blog style slug out of it.
That's awesome. You know, one thing I recommend it for is, so I have colleagues who like aren't necessarily comfortable in text editors, but I would love for them to have the power a text editor gives you to manipulate text.
Yeah.
And this is like such an easy way to give them that power.
Yeah.
This is great. People love it. I mean, they have like the featured extension right now is like, if you have a list with commas, you highlight it, click the extension, and it turns it into just a regular list, ordered list, you know? So if you do shit like that, and I do like to party with the text.
A lot of, so I have a combination of, I run a lot of services. You've seen my Markdown service tools. You've seen all of the services that I create. And some of those have been converting to shortcuts, and some of them get converted to PopClip extensions. But basically, I'm always using a combination of services and PopClip while I'm editing. And any app that I use that doesn't play well with services or PopClip, I give up on very quickly. VS Code, for example. VS Code does not do a great job of handling input from services. Like a service processes text and then replaces your current text with the output of the service, VS Code tends to chunk that up in various ways. And that has been a major blocking point for me in using VS Code because it doesn't work with all of the tools that I'm just used to having.
Yeah, right. Right.
Obsidian too. Obsidian also uses like an Electron based.
Is it so explain to me what it is about being electron based that causes that issue?
Because most of the text editing is done in it's a web browser. It's WebKit.
Got it. WebKit.
And you are your text isn't technically being handled directly through a Cocoa text field. It's subject to whatever kind of text editor they built in a WebKit field, which is unpredictable.
Yeah. Okay, I have somewhere I want to go from here, but I have to ask you a question. I have only just noticed that on some of the actions I have loaded, there is a little gear. And if I open up the gear, I get some options like show as icon only, which I did not realize was a thing. And the other one is like, obviously with the search, you can open it up and put, where do you want to search or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's also just kind of a nice little second layer to these elegant little things.
Yeah.
They are elegant.
I don't know if you can add options with the...
That was what I was going to ask you next.
With the YAML. I haven't... because I'm adept at making my own PopClip extensions manually. And like a regular PopClip extension uses XML. It uses a plist file to define all of its characteristics and its options and where it works. And like you can define this extension only shows up if these conditions are met.
Got it.
And things like that I'm used to defining in the plist. And I have never explored like exactly how much of that translates to the YAML extension format.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too. The idea of this only shows up if certain conditions are met.
Yeah.
I've never seen a place where I have control over that in an extension unless I was writing it. Is that true?
No, right, exactly.
Okay.
It's defined by the extension author. And in the same document where the YAML extensions are explained, you can find all of the various keys that you can use to determine where where an extension shows up and what its result is.
It seems like this year you've embraced shortcuts a little more.
I'm trying. Like when I found out that you can shortcuts, if you drag a system service onto shortcuts, onto the app, it will do its best to convert your system service to a shortcut.
Yeah.
And Apple is clearly more invested in continuing development of shortcuts than they are in continuing the development of Automator. Like Automator, if you add a shell script option to Automator, it still offers you a series of processors you can have that shell script run in: Ruby, Perl, Python, etc. But Apple is no longer embedding those processors in macOS. And it's pretty clear to me that shortcuts is the future. So I am making an effort to parlay my knowledge in system services in Automator to shortcuts and to make use of. And honestly, shortcuts are more powerful. Like just if then and for loops, like you can't do that in Automator.
Right.
You don't have that option, and shortcuts make that very easy. So like I see the benefit of shortcuts, and I am kind of working to keep up with the kids in this case.
The shortcuts kids. The ones that take all the extracurriculars.
Rosemary, got to keep up with the Rosemary.
Oh man, that's not possible. But Rosemary's a great North Star.
For sure. I for anyone who missed it, I filled in for Rosemary on the episode of Automators. I think it was the last one that came out. But it was just me and David Sparks talking about mostly the stuff I've made, but um, I did my best to fill in for Rosemary on Automators.
That's awesome, man. I owe that Sparks character a lot. I mean, there was a period of time for me. I remember I got laid off from a public radio job. It was kind of laid off. There was a grant funded project, and the grant money ran out, and I didn't know what I wanted to do and what skills I wanted to build. And at the same time, it was really like really like the David Sparks first wave. You know, he's like putting the books out, and he's
Yeah.
like you two did a book together. I learned about you through that. You know, like that was such an important time in my development as a power user. It was great.
Yeah, like so I owe a lot of my success in the Mac community to like to Merlin Mann and John Gruber and their like interactions and mentions of me early on. But most people I talk to, they heard about me from my guest spots on like Mac power users and
Yeah.
automators, and Sparks has played a major role in who I am on the Mac internet these days.
Well, I mean, to this day, you know, he speaks your name about, you know, once or twice an episode, about as much as I mentioned Danny Glamour. You know. That's awesome. Okay, so we've been talking about these, like this whole thing for me is like these elegant little tools. The last one for me is actually just going to be my gratitude real quick, and then Brett, I want to do a lightning round with you because you've started releasing your favorites, end of year favorites. Okay, you into that?
Yeah.
So my gratitude will just kind of follow this idea of these elegant little tools into this great curated directory of like 750 plus Mac menu bar apps. It's somebody, I don't know who is this, that I should say who this is because it's a lot of work they put into it. Did a lot of work organizing all of these things into a website with a really nice interface. And his name is maybe Luke, Luuk. Anyway, it's in the show notes. So I recommend this as much as a way to see what is possible in a menu bar app as what exists, because I found as I started going through this and clicking the things that were interesting to me, they were almost all no longer developed. But I don't think that's the reason to ignore them. I mean, it's actually wonderful to have an index of no longer active apps because it gives you a sense of what came before. And
Ooh, but there's a Chat GPT menu bar app
oh
listed
man,
at the top.
I have a dear friend who's doing some dark magic with Chat GPT right now. Stuff is insane. Where is it? Where's the GPT?
It's like number 3 on page 1 of the
I see it.
recently added.
Wow, that's a whole nother episode. I mean, that's a whole nother episode once a month for the next, 3 years until something else comes. This seems blah, blah, blah. Hit it. This seems like something that came out of the Pentagon. Chat GPT. Total
Yeah.
DARPA project.
Well, and we talked about Menu Bar X. That was a pick a while back where you can put like all kinds of little web browser apps into your menu bar.
Is the barrier to creating a menu bar app any lower than for any other kind of app that has to pass approval?
Any lower? No. It
Okay.
might actually be a little higher.
Higher?
It takes a little more effort to make a menu bar only app than to make a simple Mac app.
Got it.
To make a good app of any kind, there's a barrier.
Right.
And if you're good enough to make a good Mac app, you're good enough to make a menu bar app. That's
Got it.
It's about equal, but it does take a little more effort to put it menu bar only.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to move us past that because I want to do the lightning round. Here's the rules, Brett. Okay. You get to say, I name the app, and you get to say one sentence.
Okay.
Okay. And it doesn't matter. The sentence can be how it makes you feel, or the sentence can be what it does. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
And we're going to start with your list of favorites, your Mac apps favorites. Okay.
Okay.
But then we're going to do a super lightning round where you only get 2 words for your own apps. Okay. Because you did your favorites, your own projects. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? You want to stretch? You want to, hit your cough button and make a guttural sound?
I wish I had more coffee, but I drank all my coffee.
All right.
We're gonna do it. Let's do
Here we
it.
go. These are Brett's favorite apps of 2022. One sentence per. Here we go. Affinity Photo 2.
Finally, it's finally a true competitor to Adobe. Everything is coming into place.
Comma, everything is coming up. Okay, that's one sentence. Or a semicolon. I think that was a sentence. All right. Kaleidoscope.
It's been through many hands over its lifetime. As far as a Mac diff app, it is the best you can find.
So that was like an M dash and not a period. Are you looking at your fucking blog post? That's cheating.
What?
I
Okay.
see it in your glasses. Curio. You do whatever you want.
Curio is such an amazing app full of surprises and delight. And as far as project management goes, it is project management and brainstorming are Curio's strong points, and I absolutely love it.
Awesome. Regix RX.
There are so many regular expression testers and creators out there, but Regex RX, which looks like weirdly like a Java app, has all the features I've ever wanted, and I've never found anything that is as good.
I'm worried that you're going to continue this pattern of using parentheticals as a loophole to giving it to one sentence. All right, CleanShot X.
The most elegant app on Mac right now. It is, if you need to shoot screenshots or screen video, it does everything exactly the way you want it to. It's so intuitive, so amazing. It's so good.
You got to get these sentences shorter. Bike.
Bike. If you love task paper, you're going to love Bike, the best outliner that came out in the last year.
Warp.
Warp is like, I'm still an iTerm 2 guy. I still love iTerm, but Warp adds artificial intelligence, command completion, and amazing command line autocomplete to your terminal.
Clean My Mac X.
Just so MacKeeper gave a bad name to all of the Mac
Hell yeah
cleaning apps, but Clean My Mac X is just a downright responsible application that will clean and optimize your Mac in a way that is not shady at all.
You made that one sentence by cheaply using the word but. DaVinci Resolve.
We skipped Mac Updater.
Oh shit, Mac Updater. Sorry, everybody.
Man, I love Mac Updater because I don't have to wait until I launch an app to find out there's an update. I know exactly what apps on my Mac need update at any given time. As soon as an update is available, I know about it, and Mac Updater just keeps it all together.
DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci Resolve, I do not do enough video editing to feel comfortable dropping $200 on Final Cut Pro X. DaVinci Resolve has professional level video editing capabilities for free.
Who to spot? Whoop whoop.
If you love Spotlight, just wait till you try.
In a world,
it's Spotlight on steroids. It's amazing.
Choosy.
There are so many apps that will let you use multiple browsers, but Choosy is the oldest and still, in my opinion, the best app for choosing what links open in what browser.
Better touch tool.
I don't think I could possibly summarize Better Touch Tool in 2 sentences, but if you want to automate your machine, from your trackpad to your Stream Deck to your keyboard, if you want to make shit happen, Better Touch Tool is your go-to.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, that wasn't even Brett's voice. It was AI generated by a better touch tool action where you put 2 fingers on the trackpad, you lick the mic, and, and you blink twice, and then hit enter on the keyboard. It's incredible. It's incredible. All right, five left. Hook mark.
Hookmark is so hard to describe, but basically, if you want to link together any two things, any multiple things on your computer, you're like a to-do item, a video, a PDF, a file, a web page. If you want to make it so that you can find related objects from any of those things, you can use Hookmark to hook them together and create networks, basically, of information, no matter where they're located on your drive or in the world. You can just hook them together, and it's a hard to describe application that once you get into it is just infinitely useful.
Okay, listen, you got 3 left here, but for God's sake, don't go longer than the actual text on the website. Mailmate.
I'm gonna just quote my website. I'm not sure anything will ever pull me away from Mailmate. It's my email tool of choice, power without compromise.
iThoughtsX.
I use a lot of mind maps, and I use a lot of mind mapping apps, and iThoughtsX is still my favorite mind mapping software on the Mac.
All right, and finally Dash.
I use Dash constantly because it offers me instant search of any API doc, any programming language, anything I need a cheat sheet for. I can just hit a shortcut and I can type in an abbreviation and find exactly the documentation I'm looking for.
All right, we did it. That was great. Now listen, this is the hard one, okay? And I'm going to
Okay.
change it because I don't want you going long like that.
Oh
Ready?
boy.
So it's you get
2 words.
one word.
1 word.
Yeah, this is just for fun. One
Okay.
word to describe each of your tools from your favorite tools of 2022 that you created, okay?
All right.
And everyone's going to go there. You know, it's all right. We're just getting people over it. You just give them a word, okay? Bunch.
Can I use a hyphenate?
That's terrible. We're going to give you 2 words. Bunch.
Plain text automation.
All right. Doing.
Time tracking.
Gather.
Markdownification.
You're doing great. How's it?
Build notes.
Repeatability. No.
There you go.
NA. Narcotics Anonymous. Community.
12 steps. No. Command line, 1 word. Task paper, 2 words. Interaction, 3 words.
All right. Command line task. Good. Search link.
Instant search.
Oh, where do I sign up? Marked 2.
Markdown preview.
NV Ultra on my epitaph.
Markdown note taking.
Boom. Brett, thank you for all that you do and for putting up with my stupid lightning round thing. I know that far before I knew you, I looked forward to these end of year posts. I also checked your site every day to see if there was a new web excursions post, because those were always super fun. So thank you for all that you do and for being a podcast friend.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Hey, my pleasure.
Life is better for knowing you.
Oh, shucks. I feel the same. Thank you. That's very kind.
I had I drove to the Twin Cities, to have lunch with Rabbi Eric Linder, previous guest,
Friend of the show.
But Jeff's household was going through some illnesses that I didn't want to be exposed to, so I did not get to see Jeff on this last trip. It was great to see Eric, but definitely miss seeing you.
Influenza A coming through the house. No, thank you. Well, I hope you get some sleep, at least.
Yeah, get some sleep, Jeff.
The system is going down now.